Alright. Alrighty, ready. Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. I am Violet Hyena, and you are here with perfect timing, and I am here to do readings for people with perfect timing. I have 13 decks here. They all have a lot to say, so I use a regular playing card deck to choose which one gets to speak. And I see Parla Sach is in the chat, and Debbie Kelly's in the chat. Yeah, hello. Debbie Kelly says hello, beautiful heart. Hey, guys. Happy Monday. I guess that's what it is. Happy Monday. Oh, how are you guys doing? Welcome, welcome. Debbie Kelly says, can you please pull a card and ask if I should return to my friend Chris? I believe he is my emperor, but he's acting like a page. And Parlasach says, someone wanted to talk about roadside area that's in Nevada State UFO aliens. Look, if it has anything to do with aliens, just call the doctor. Everything will be just fine. And I will pull the card for Debbie. Okay, so Debbie has a question for the universe. I'm gonna pick a deck. It sounds like a tarot card deck kind of problem. Alright, so it's number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Octopus turret. Let's see. Should Debbie return to her friend Chris? Should Debbie return to Chris? Should Debbie return to Chris? Should Debbie return to Chris? That's a good one. Okay, and the answer is no. Debbie should not return to Chris. We're going to look into the card for more details. It is the 9 of Cups. And the 9 of Cups is, the Suit of Cups is emotion and water and relationships and flow, and 9 is basically the harvest time of all the emotions, just gathering them in a nice placement and having them pretty well mastered and stable. But given that you mentioned that Chris is not acting like an emperor and that in fact he is acting like a page, it makes me think that he doesn't have all of his cups in a row and he's immature. So the reason you should not return to him is because he doesn't have all of his cups in a row. Alright, so I hope that helps you out, Debbie. Put the deck away. Strawberry moon tonight. Alright, so I'm going to put this deck away and then I'm going to catch up on chat because I'm only seeing bits and pieces. Okay, here we go. Boop. Have a drink of water. Okay, let's go back to chat. And Parlasat says, awesome, probably to the doctor comment. And Parlasat says, not a deck from the roadside curio. Nope, that one's from the depths of the ocean. It's my octopus deck. And Debbie Kelly says, will my niece have her baby this week? Alright, let me put you on the list. Debbie's on the list. I'm going to catch up on chat, and then I'm going to get back to the list. And Preston says, hello. Hello, Preston. You may, of course, ask questions, Preston. And Debbie Kelly says, excellent answer. Parla Slouch says, scene of a moon over a building. Happy full moon, however. I'm working on... And Debbie says, I'm working on me. And Parla Slouch says, looking for a strawberry icon. And Debbie Kelly says, strawberry moon tonight. Debbie says, strawberry, 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 strawberry. And Parla Slouch says, moon strawberry. Find one of those blenders and blend, blend, blend. Debbie Kelly says, yes, his cups are everywhere. And Parla Slouch says, add ice cream and enjoy. And Parla Slouch says, savor the sound effects of the whirl. Nice. Anyway, I'm going to answer Debbie's question. I need a deck. I need a deck. I need a deck to answer her question. Which deck? Which deck? It is number 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a supernatural deck. Again, it's a tarot card question. It's a yes, no question. Okay, will Debbie's niece have her baby this week? Will Debbie's niece have baby this week? Will Debbie's niece have the baby this week? It will, she said. And the cards say no. The niece will not have the baby this week. And we're going to look into the cards more. The Hermit, which is a time for introspection and isolation and getting away from all those pesky people. And it is a major arcana, so it is definitely not time for a baby. It is time for you to distract yourself and not worry about the baby, because the Hermit just focuses on other things besides people in society. It is a time of introspection. That way you're not driving yourself crazy waiting for the baby to come out. Alright, that is what the cards have to say. I hope that helps you out, Debbie. And clear the board, give myself a drink. I do in fact have peppermint tea that has been on ice today. It's very lovely. Tasty. Okay, let's catch up on chat. Okay. And Parla Slouch says, I believe that is a scientist emoji. Cartomancy, scientist at work. I do not know what a cartomancy is. Parlasach says, alien emoji found my Nevada road trip mask. Fun. Parlasach says, abducting UFO, ellipses. There's other specimens out there. Awesome flavor. Again, anything I have to do with aliens, I'm just gonna call the doctor. That's just it. Just the only solution for me. There's no other being I would trust with aliens than the doctor. But no. And then Paul Slouch says Jupiter with purple ring. Space. I need some space. If that's the topic today, I need. You know what? If you're gonna give me space, I'm gonna getting into the vortex, because this is the closest thing to space I want to be. However, there's the Moonology deck. That's fun. Actually, you know what? That is an idea. You guys have brought up a good point. Parlasach says, has great arte. You guys have brought up a great point. It is a strawberry moon tonight, so we're going to pull out the Moonology deck and ask it about the strawberry moon. What does the strawberry moon have to say tonight? I think that is a fabulous topic. I need to bend some of these cards. There we go. You need to be bendy. You need to be bendy. I know, it's very thick cardstock. Very thick, guys. Very thick. Okay. In honor of the strawberry moon, we're going to pick a card. In honor of the strawberry moon, we're going to pick a card. Ooh, such a better shuffle. Such a better shuffle. Much better. Awesome. In honor of the strawberry moon, what do we have? What do we have? We have what you need to release the waning moon. The waning moon. The waning moon, page 100. Here we go. And the waning moon is what do you need to release? The waning moon points to what's falling away. Life goes in cycles, and sometimes we need downtime or to let it go. No matter when the moon cycle you pull this card, it's a sign that a situation has peaked, for better or worse, and it's time for you to go easier. It's the autumn and winter of the cycle. So what do you need to release? Almost certainly something from the situation you're asking about. This card can be very positive, but it can still be gently suggesting that you let something go and stop trying so hard. Attuned to the moon. It's safe to let go and move on. Additional meanings for this card. Move forward with as little resistance as possible. It is not the time to start new projects. Releasing emotional baggage is recommended now. Say sorry to someone. Do energetic work such as meditation or yoga. Soon you will see what lies ahead. The teaching of this card. At the time of the waning cycle, take a moment to look up in the skies every night. You will see the moon growing smaller and smaller as she moves from full to new again. It's the time when things are falling away. It's certainly not the time to cling on to anyone or anything. Drawing this card suggests your situation is in its autumn and winter phase, so hunker down and start the regeneration process. Alright, sounds great. Very pretty. So it's time to let go of stuff and relax for a bit. I like the sound of that. Oh, I could use some of that. I don't know about you guys. Ugh. There we go. Sleep cards. Sleep in your little box. Little coffin. Ha. Happy little coffins. Sorry. I need a drink of water. Okay. I am now going to catch up on chat. And Parla Slouch says, curious if there's something close to that. And Parla Slouch says, thank goodness it won't rip easy. Good cardstock. Super good cardstock. Terrible for shuffling sometimes. I mean, I think it's this deck I still need to flex out. And Ellipses, fascinating how that works. Ellipses, let that dandelion seeds fly. Just let it go, man. Nothing to worry about here. Just let it go. Ah. Speaking of oracle cards. It's just the information card. Don't look, it's shy. I think it was this deck. Yep. Still very stiff. Mm. I've had this deck for years. It's still stiff. Such good cardstock. Ugh. Well, there goes my wrist if something needs to release. Yeesh. There we go. Try again. Ah. Nope. Wow. Still very, very stiff. It is not carpal tunnel. Look, my joints all over my body pop and release tension. That's just how my body does it. I don't ask questions. It just does popping. And then I feel better. It's not painful. And Pearl Slouch said before that, pizza emoji, pliable but stiff. And then taco. And I know it's not carpal tunnel because it's been doing that since I was a kid. I pop everywhere. It's just how tension is released in my body. And also lets me know I'm dehydrated. My joints need water. My joints need water. Hydrate. Okay, I have hydrated. And Parla Slouch says popcorn emoji. My most important relationship is with my source. There is no relationship of greater importance to achieve than the relationship between you in your physical body right here and now and the soul source God from which you have come. If you tend to that relationship first and foremost, you will then and only then have the stable footing to process into other relationships. Your relationship with your own body, with money, with your parents, children, grandchildren, and your world will all fall easily into alignment once you tend to this fundamental relationship first. So, the most important relationship is with Source, with the universe. I can't stop attracting. Wait, sorry. I can stop attracting don't wants by attention to do wants. You cannot rid the world of things that bother you. You have got to rid your vibration of things that bother you. And when you rid your vibration of things that bother you, no things that bother you can come. But you cannot really rid anything from your vibration, because there is no exclusion in this attraction-based universe. The only way to stop attracting something that you don't want is by giving your attention to something that you do want. But you have to take small steps in it. And Parla Slouch says, blue lined sphere, alignment and the source. Yes. I came as an extension of source energy. Yes. Disconnected. Okay, reconnected. Yay. I apologize for the glitch, but it seems like we're back in action. And Parla Slouch said, had to lose an invalid scooter that wouldn't run on a warranty anymore. And Parla Slouch says, barely limped on a low battery power. And Parla Slouch says, no worries. I came as an extension of source energy. You came as a physical extension of source energy, understanding that you would explore contrast, causing expansion not only for you, but for all that is. You knew that you could find your way back to resources of your source by feeling your way and by understanding that the relationship between you and you is not one of separateness, but of alignment and resonance. When you master the art of allowing your consistent alignment with the source within you, every other relationship will be beneficial and pleasurable. Woohoo! Sounds good to me. Ellipses, nobody wanted to recycle the batter. Eiffel Tower, better things happen once you let the item go. Yeah, yeah. I am a vibrational being, vibrationally emanating desires. You live in a vibrational universe that is managed by the law of attraction. The law of attraction is bringing vibrations that are alike together. And so it is important for you to acknowledge that you are vibrational beings, consistently emanating vibrational signals of desire. And when from your human form you offer a vibration of what you want, because you know what you don't want, so you know what you do want, you cannot contemplate any subject without equal components of wanted and unwanted appearing vibrationally in your experience. Life is a balancing act. Such says, didn't want the kids to get injured by leaving the invalid scooter. Construction workers took it. So, Parlous, you seem to be floating off in subjects here. That what? Anyway, beneficial beliefs feel better when I think them. There are things in your environment that you believe that match what you want, and there are all kinds of things in your environment that you believe that defy what you want. How would you ever sort them out? How would you know the active beliefs within you that serve you well and the active beliefs that do not serve you? How do you know the beneficial beliefs from the detrimental ones? The beneficial beliefs feel better when you think them. The detrimental ones feel worse when you think them. Does it feel good? Does it feel bad? It feels bad. Let's look towards the thing that looks good. Okay. And Parlasach says, worst tasting lollipop. Too much hot pepper and cinnamon. Had to toss it out. Making peace with my today will improve my future. It may sound odd, but the fastest way to get to a new and improved situation is to make peace with your current situation by making lists of the most positive aspects you can find about your current situation and then release your resistance to the improvements. Excuse me. Okay. I'm awake? Really? I need water. I need more water. Excuse me. You can find about your current situation, and then you release your resistance to the improvements that are waiting for you. But if you rail against the injustices of your current situation, you hold yourself in vibrational alignment with what you do not want. And you cannot then move in the direction of improvement. It defies law. The card that warns of dangerous candy flavors. Water break. Water breaks are important. Very important. Stop sign shape. I guess that would be an octagon. Vibrational alignment to candy. I didn't like the alignment. Blech. I want to go back. Let's see. I can attract relationships that agree with my desires. People are not finding it difficult to find the mate of their dreams because that person is not out there, but because of their own contradiction to their own desire in the thoughts they offer about the subject in every day. When you consistently offer thoughts about your future relationship that feel good while you think them, that means that you are consistently matching the desires that you have discovered as you have lived life. And under those conditions, only someone in agreement with your desires could come to you. Alright, you know what? I cannot agree to alignment with candy, alright? But I fully agree with alignment to chocolate. That's my final answer. Sorry, it took me a moment. And then Prada Slouch says swirly, strawberry, coconut. That's a thought. And Prada Slouch says, aha. So I don't want alignment with candy. I want alignment with chocolate. Yeah, there it is. There's my chocolate bar. And Prowlis says, found you. Thank you. Thank you, Prowlis. I appreciate that. And I can always enter my vibrational vortex of creation. The key to getting inside your vibrational vortex of creation, of experiencing the absolute absence of resistance, of achieving complete alignment with all that you have become and all that you desire, and of bringing your physical experience everything that you desire, is being in a state of appreciation, and there is no more important object of appreciation in which you must flow your appreciation than of self. So appreciate yourself. Awesome. The thoughts I think determine the relationship I attract. Not only does the power of your thought determine which people make their way into your life, but it determines how they behave once they get there. You are the thinking, vibrating attractor of your experience, and the thoughts you think determine everything about the life you live. As you turn your attention towards the positive aspects of the personalities and behaviors of others with whom you share your planet, you will train your point of attraction in the direction of only what you desire. And Pralasach says, with a spoon emoji, sample testing that next flavor. Sample all the flavors and then pick your favorites. My thoughts join a powerful swirling vortex of attraction. In the same way that the law of attraction is responding to the thoughts, words, and actions that you are offering here in your physical reality, the law of attraction is always responding powerfully to your vibrational reality. When the law of attraction, the universal manager of all vibrations, responds to the clarity of vibration offered by your expanding inner being, the result is a powerful, swirling vortex of attraction. Lovely. So I do not believe that ping pong is a flavor. Soccer net and volleyball. Or soccer cleats? These are not tasty products, sir. But that's the best thing I can do. I thought there was a whole bunch of food emojis. You know what, Parlis? I believe in your emoji finding skills. I'm gonna let you do that. Parlis says, training tank top, escaping, landscaping goats don't know. Oh wait, there's more. Scapegoats. That reminds me of the goats that fall over when they get scared. My true success is measured by my alignment. Alignment with Source, being inside your vortex of creation, becoming one with the true expanded version of you, is the ultimate selfishness. And yes, in that state of alignment, all good things must come to you. Every rocket of desire that you have launched will be fulfilled. True success is not the attainment of things, the achievement of tasks, or the achievement of financial abundance. True success is the coming into alignment with you. Yes, selfishly aligning with your desires, your clarity, your confidence, your knowledge, your love with yourself. Okay, and Prolsat says, oh, we did more. Ice Cube juice box. The one that's faint. The one that is faint. Oh, the fainting goats. Yes, those. Yes. Narcolepsy. Well, maybe. I don't know. But I know they were like genetically made that way. That way they would get eaten instead of the other bigger, more expensive livestock or something. That's what I remember. That's all I remember. I can replace false premises with law-based premises. There has been a theme unfolding here of replacing flawed premises with law-based premises. And we would like to leave you with one final one. We all make too much of this. It is simpler than we all make it out to be. Be easy about it. Be kind to yourself. Do things that feel fun. Look for things that bring you relief. And just easily move into that place, your vortex, where all things that you want have already been lined up for you. Yeah. Relax. Chill out. Skateboard emoji, the stuff that brings relief. Skateboards actually bring me anxiety, so not so much. You know what brings me relief? Water. Water brings me relief. I'm totally gonna have some of that. Okay, ankles are important. Ankles are super important. I like my ankles just the way they are. Semi-functional. They help me walk, which is also super important. I have complete control over my own thoughts. You can find yourself in an endless loop where you explain that you feel negative because of the negative behavior of someone else. But if instead you take control of your own emotions and you think an improved thought because it feels better to do so, you can then turn it around. You have no real control of what anyone else is doing with their vibration, or with what actions for that matter, but you have complete control over your own thoughts, vibrations, emotions, and points of attraction. I'm only 15 minutes in. I shouldn't be this tired. but work takes it out of me. And Parla Slouch says, beach with an umbrella. At least persuasion has a purpose. Fire, Mercury retrograde. Something to do with retrogrades. Is that astrology? I can find harmony by feeling for improved thoughts. Things that are slowing down with Saturn about to retrograde. I honestly have not researched too much into astrology and retrograde, so I do not know. Both Neptune and Saturn are in Aries. Hey, that's my sign. See, the universe does lots of stuff that I don't know about yet. I'll do research on it one day. I can find harmony by feeling for the improved thoughts. If we were contemplating an action that caused negative emotion, we would not proceed with the action until we had resolved the negative emotion. We would make sure that we had come into alignment with Source before proceeding. By feeling for the improved thought in time, and usually in a short time, you will feel the harmony of your Source, and you will know the appropriateness of your behavior. We would not look for a long list of right and wrong, but instead we would feel for the emotion of alignment with Source. Margaret says, hello. Hello, Margaret. And Parla Slouch says, airplane turbulence. Nobody can see how hidden swirling masses present until one passes through them. Yeah, okay. And then I can understand needing a nap after the swirling masses. Alright, so I do know why I'm tired. Work was tiring. I will sleep good after stream tonight. And Parla Slouch says, lollipop upside down smiley face. And Margaret says, will I see Paul before I leave for Florida? That's a very good question. I will answer that question. There we go. In the box to go. In the box to go. Which deck would like to answer Margaret's question? Which deck would like to answer Margaret? Oh, okay then. You have spoken. The playing card said no, not that one. Okay. Relax. Relax. Why don't you relax? I'm just picking a deck. Okay. So, which deck would like to answer Margaret's question? I noticed you. That was my phone. Number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Robin Wood Terrace. Okay, will Margaret see Paul before she leaves for Florida? Will Margaret see Paul before she goes to Florida? Will Margaret see Paul before she goes to Florida? That's a little better. Yes, much better. Okay, will Margaret see Paul before she goes to Florida? And the answer is yes. And if we look further into the card for details, it is the 8 of Pentacles. That is wealth, health, earth, and coins and resources. And 8 is the mastery of the work, the mastery of the project, mastery of the process of making the thing to make wealth. So yes, you will be able to see Paul before going to Florida. This is a mastery of wealth. So if you've mastered the wealth in this particular moment, then that means you've created this, you've lined everything up, and you're on your way to Florida. And then once everything is pulled together and the tickets are bought to go to Florida, and before you leave, you'll be able to see it, because then everything is aligned and you're going and you're just going with it. And that's when you'll be able to see Paul again. That's when you'll be able to see Paul before Florida. And that is what the cards have to say. You're very welcome, Margaret. Okay, I'm going to catch up on chat with water. Water and tea. Okay, I've been liquidated. And Palasach said, kitchen timer, ellipses, cards are picky tonight. Oh, cards are always picky. Sometimes they're just louder than normal. Game show host. Which deck wins this round? Ravenwood Turret. Strikes again. Diamonds run fast, within hours, minutes. The rate of speed is fast. Correct. And Margaret said, thanks. And will Margaret see the before leaving Florida? Oh, TJ. Oh, okay. That makes much more sense. T TJ. I'm not laughing at you. I'm just. Oh, thank you for the laugh. Thank you for the laugh. Will I see the before leaving Florida? Oh, thank you for the laugh, Margaret. I knew that. Which deck would like to answer Margaret's question? Number 10. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Supernatural deck. There we go. Alright. Will Margaret be able to see? Yes, the Winchesters return. Winchesters, please tell us the answer. Winchester. Will Margaret be able to see TJ before leaving for Florida? Will Margaret be able to see TJ before leaving for Florida? And the answer is no. And we're going to look into the card more. We have the blades. And we have the two of blades. But it was reversed, so it's a no. You won't be able to see TJ before you go to Florida. And I know from the show Supernatural that these are angel blades. So, yeah, they're dangerous, but they're kind of super useful. And they're angelic items. But the two of swords is usually a decision made. But also swords are mentality and air, and usually some conflict and logic. And these, usually the two of swords is like two thoughts that you can't make a decision on, and that hinders you from moving forward, which traps you in a state of mind. So because of a decision, You're not going to be able to see TJ before you go to Florida. Okay, hope that helps you out, Margaret. I'm gonna put the stick away. I see. There is more chat. Alright, the Winchesters and Polysouch says there's some lady that moved from Connecticut to California and made a huge mansion in San Jose. Oh, I don't know. Now, if you're talking about the Winchester Mansion, that is a gigantic maze, created by a lady, from the Winchester Rifle. I think if that's the direction you're going in, Parlis, that's all I know about that subject. And Francis John is here. Hi, Francis. How you doing? And Francis says, "Hi, Violet. How are you doing today?" I am here, which is a miraculous thing, and it's amazing. And I'm here with you guys with perfect timing. And Parla Slouch says, "Ooh, garden shears. How would I know? But they look like nail files for a manicure. The letter openers. Envelope breakers. Gypsy Witch has that card in its deck." And Margaret says, "Is the decision because TJ doesn't want to see me?" That's a very good question. Let's find out. I'm going to put Margaret on the board because I do have more chat to catch up on. So I'm going to put Margaret on the board. So I'm going to catch up to you, Margaret, after I catch up on chat. And Parlisage says, "The Winchester Mansion." Correct. It's really fascinating. I have studied it because of the Supernatural show. And Francis John says, "Hi, Violet. Good to see you. How's your energy doing?" And Francis John says, like number 4, "Could you please tell me what my relationship with Jacqueline is likely to be?" Yes. Francis, I'm going to add you to the list, and then I'll get back to you and Margaret after I catch up on chat. And Parla says, "UFO probably abducting a cow. Ellipses. Take care. Doesn't know yet what happens soon." Okay? Again, if there's aliens, I'm gonna call the doctor. Now, if I had demons, I would call the Winchesters. And Francis John says, "Thank you, dear." You're very welcome. And Parlisach says, "What a fun name to pronounce." You mean Francis's name? Anyway, I am gonna get to this list. So which deck is... Which deck wants to do Margaret's question? Which deck wants to do my next question? Which deck wants to do Margaret's question? King, which is 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Robinwood Tarot. Okay, is the decision because TJ doesn't want to see Margaret? Is the decision because TJ doesn't want to see Margaret? Is the decision because TJ doesn't want to see Margaret? Ooh. Jesus. Okay. Well, apparently it's yes, and the Hangman just came out. The whole deck kind of flipped over. So, yes. The Hangman is a major arcana. So, because of all this, it feels like TJ is going to have a different perspective on things. So, yeah, he's not going to want to see you before you move to Florida. And that's his decision from his new perspective. And I hope that helps you out, Margaret. And then done Margaret's, and then I'll get to Francis's question. And Francis's question was, would you please tell me what my relationship with Jacqueline. So, let's pick a deck. Which deck would like to answer Francis's question? Which deck would like to answer Francis's question? That's it. It is the King again. It's a different suit, but it's still King, and it's 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It is the Robinwood Tarot again. That's fun. That's fun. This is why I like this setup. It's fun. You don't know what's gonna happen. Alright. So, what is Francis's relationship with Jacqueline likely to be? What is the relationship with John and Jacqueline likely to be? What is the essence of their relationship? What is the relationship with Jacqueline and Francis likely to be? Alright, we have the Magician. Okay. So the Magician is a major arcana. It's number 1. The Magician has the ability to use all the resources of the universe at their disposal. So has the quality of cups, the quality of swords, the quality of pentacles, and the quality of wands. So all of them, the Magician has the ability to use all of them and has mastered them all. So this would be saying that the relationship that you have with Jacqueline is all of them. They're emotional, logical, creative, and financially abundant. So I would say this is a very good relationship. The possibilities are endless, essentially. So I hope that helps you out, Francis. Alright, I'm going to put this stick away and catch up on chat. First thing I have to drink of water. By the way, I hope that helped you out, Francis. Okay, and then I'm going to catch up on chat. Margaret says, okay, and thank you. And Francis Jones says, love the King's deck. Yeah. And PJJ11111 says hi. Hi, PJJ. Welcome. PJJ, I don't recognize your username. Are you new? And if so, welcome, because you have subscribed. And if you have a question, just go ahead and drop it in chat and I will get to it. And Francis John says, thanks so much, my dear. You're very welcome. It did a lot. Thanks so very much. Very insightful. Very good. Another question, please. Did Angelo and Jacqueline talk about me? How did it turn out? Alright, so that is a 2 question. So 2 Carter. Angelo and Jacqueline talk about John. And if so, and that's a yes, no. And how did it turn out? Okay. Here we go. Oop, hold up. So we're gonna pick a deck. Gonna pick a deck to answer the question. That is number 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Robin Wood Terrett again. Very, very active today. Very, very talkative. Okay, so did Angelo and Jacqueline talk about John, and how did it turn out? So, depending on if they did, then I will then draw a card for the second one. Let's see. Did Angelo and Jacqueline talk about John? Did Angelo and Jacqueline talk about John? Let's find out. Did they talk about you? They did! They did talk about you. How did it turn out? We're gonna find out. Okay, so first of all, since this is not a yes or no, we're just gonna flip that. This one was yes, and it was looking into the cards for more details. We have the 5 of Wands, so wands are fire, creativity, and magic, action. So this is a not a card. It's a. I always look at this card as a feat. A challenge of opinions to others. So it's not truly a combat experience, it's more like a theatrical. What's it called? A challenge of skill. That's what I want to say. A challenge of skill. So this is a challenge of skill. So skill. And these actions are also playing off of others' actions and reactions. So it's definitely like a training duel. That's also a really good word for it. So this has the spirit of Angelo and Jacqueline talking about John in a way that was matching like skills. And then we go to how did it turn out, which was it turned out fine. I mean, you have the card, the major arcana strength, which is internal strength, which is willpower and determination and bravery. So all these internal strengths. So it's a very positive card. So I think it was quick debate that turned out favorable for you. Okay, so I hope that helps you out, John. It was favorable to you. And Francis John says, what's your favorite deck if you have to choose one? And Francis said, I'm glad to know that. Thanks so much. You're very welcome. You're gonna make me choose between all of my babies? Look, I can't even choose one to consecutively do one stream with. I love them all. They're there for different purposes. I mean, I love my cat tarot deck. It's the silliest card deck I have. And then I have my gay tarot, which I just love my gay tarot because it's just so happy and bubbly and full of amazing pictures. And then there's the supernatural deck, and of course, because I love the supernatural series and the Winchesters, and I love all the characters, so I love them. And then I have my Prisma Visions deck, and I love this deck because if you line up the suits, they actually form a mural or a picture that is consecutive, and it's super pretty, and that's why I really love the design of this deck. This is just, the design of this one is my favorite, just because I can put them together like a puzzle. And then, of course, I have my Octopus Tarot card deck, which is really great for the abstract pictures, but I also love octopuses. I love octopuses. So I was like super stoked to find this as an octopus deck, and then also very abstract, because sometimes you just need an abstract deck for abstract questions. And then, of course, the Robin Hood Tarot is one of my favorites because it's the first one that I bought, but it's also super duper pretty. Super duper pretty, and I love it, and it just feels right. And then this is my newest one. This is Every Little Thing You Do Is Magic, and it's all animals and other things, but mostly animals. And I just really love decks that are whimsical, and also I can look into the pictures and find details that way. So I love that deck too. So, and then of course I have my Moonology deck, which is just the best deck for the moon and astrological signs. And then there is my Urban Crow deck, which has been pretty quiet recently. But I really love crows. They are my spirit animal right now, and they're just amazing, and I love them. And one day I will have a flock of crows that love me. And then I love this one because it's Trust Your Vibes, and it has the best vibes. It has the best advice. And then, of course, there are my Ask and It Is Given decks, and I love them. And I have another one over here. So I have like 4 of them. But I only have space for so many. And, yeah, I love all of these just because they are the teachings of Abraham in card form. And I just like reading them because it's just good reminders and good vibrations all over for everything. So I'm going to put this one back. And then, Francis, you haven't been here for this, but this is my retired deck. It is the Tarot of the Witches deck, and this one's okay. This is the first one I got from somebody. It's just always been in my collection. I haven't been able to pass it on to anyone. It's just kind of stayed, and it's really good for like magic and stuff, but it's not a deck I prefer to work with. I prefer to work with these tarot card decks because they have prettier pictures. Not that this one isn't wise in its own way, it is just not my flavor of deck. And that's my TED Talk. Sorry, I went a little rant. Thank you, Francis. Let's catch up on chat since my little rant. I got some water. Okay, and Francis John says, fair enough, heart. I gotta say the cat deck is my favorite. That's good. Beautiful collection. Wow, hope you pick it up. Wow, hope you pick it in my next reading somehow. Well, John, I'm going to tell you something. You can, in fact, request a deck. It's just that not many people have a preference yet. So if you would like to say please use the cat tarot deck, I would gladly pull that one out for you and use it. Just to let you know up front. And YouTube Short said, like number 6, J. Yoti Chahal, current feelings for A.J. Dunnan. And Francis John says, crows. Here we go. Crows, they're very spiritual. Yes, they are. I love them a lot. And YouTube Shorts. Okay, so YouTube Shorts is asking a question, so I will put you on the board. However, YouTube Shorts, you have got to only ask the question once. I do not like spamming of questions in my chat. I repeat, YouTube Shorts, do not post the question again or I will not read your question. How many times have you posted? 1, 2, 3, 4. You only need to ask once. If you post it again, I may have to suspend you. Alright? No more. Be patient. Okay, so YouTube Shorts is on the list. And Francis John says, wow, never seen a witch deck before. Yeah. Yeah, there's not many witches deck. It's actually an older deck, I learned. Okay, so YouTube Shorts, if you don't know that much English, so you should probably your excuse is that you don't know much English, but I am fluent in English, and I usually am very patient with people who don't know much English, but that is not an excuse to continuously post the same thing over and over again. if you do not understand the language, perhaps you should go to a stream where you understand the language. Ma'am, please reading like no six. Okay, and John says, thank you for sharing. I hope I enjoyed the decks tour. They're all uniquely beautiful. They really are. I love them all. And YouTube Short says, like, shakehead emoji 6. Same question. Ma'am, can you listen me? Reading, ma'am. Again, the same question. Ma'am, I don't know English. I am weak. Ma'am, I don't know English. I'm weak in English. What, ma'am? John. Francis John says, I would have just apologized. Ma'am, please, reading only, choose 3 cards. Okay, so I have suspended YouTube Shorts for the rest of the stream because he asked the question again and I told him not to. And he cannot misbehave in my chat. Okay. Alright, so better topic. But yeah, that is why I use the playing card decks to choose which deck, because I can't. It's hard. There's too many. And I'm gonna choose one to get us back on good vibes. You know, Money and the Law of Attraction is good vibes. Don't look, it's just the information card. And Francis says, can I ask another question, please? Yes, you may. You may ask as many questions as I have time for, and I have been, I do 2-hour live streams. I have been currently live streaming for an hour and 40 minutes, so we have about 20 minutes left, and you can ask as many questions in that time as you like. And if you would like, I can do the cat deck if you want. Okay, and Francis says, I have a donor child which I have no contact with. What's their health and well-being like, please? Please use a deck that's your intuition tell you doesn't have to be cat deck. Yeah, but we're talking about cat deck, and I need something silly after that stern. I don't like suspending people, so I need something silly now. So cat deck is good. See, you have a donor child. Oh, let me just phrase the questions for the cards. What's their health and well-being like? Okay, health and well-being of the donor child. There we go. Plus, fur babies and kids, they kind of go in the same pool together. Okay, so what is the health and well-being of the donor child? The health and well-being of the donor child. Okay, so the health and well-being of the donor child. All right, well, the health of the child is, I would say, excellent, because this is the Empress, and the Empress is a major arcana, and the Empress is also a symbol of abundance, fertility, overall femininity. It is like the Queen card, and this one actually makes you think of a little princess, so cute and dainty. So the health is excellent, amazing, spectacular. And this one is the is this Four of Cups? Might be Four of Cups. With this deck, it's a little finicky because sometimes food is represented as coins, so I just want to make sure it's cups. Yeah, it's Four of Cups. Yep. Okay. So this one's Four of Cups, and cups is the stability of emotion. So the well-being is good. It's stable. Stable emotions. However, I do remember in cups there was looking into the cups, trying to pull them together, like you were slightly missing something, and you're thoughtful about it. But besides that, you have everything you need in the vicinity, but it might take a little bit of perception to find it all. And this cat is of course looking in all the bowls and all the cups for the food. So it is searching. But this is a card number of fertility. Not fertility, stability. Sorry. So overall, both really good. So the health and well-being of the donor child is good. I hope that helps you out, Francis. Put this tick away and have a drink of water. And I'm gonna check back in chat. Okay. And Francis says, "That's really good to know. I'm so pleased. Thanks so much. I'm relieved. I never met her." Aww. And Francis John said, "Another question, please. What's Omni's feelings and intentions about Francis?" It's a very good question. Let's ask a deck. So, feelings and intentions. Okay. Pick a deck for this question. Okay, number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, the cat deck. That is hilarious. That's hilarious. And this time it was just picked by the deck, so it's just meant to be here today. It's meant to be here today. Okay, so the feelings and intentions of Ani to Francis. What are Ani's feelings and intentions about Francis? What are Ani's feelings and intentions towards Francis? What are Ani's feelings and intentions towards Francis? Okay, feelings are judgment and the Hermit. Wow, both major arcana. So these are very strong feelings and intentions. So the strong feelings are judgment, and judgment is how are you refining yourself? How, or in this case, she's judging you harshly by how you refine yourself. So she has a very intense intense. She has an intensity about her, or this person. This person has an intensity about them and their judgment. And the Hermit is the intentions. They're going to be hiding in a bag. You know what's funny? We have an Egyptian theme here, and on the bag we have an Egyptian eye. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that in the camera, but I'm going to show you. Lower, little lower. There we go. So, as you can see, there is the Egyptian eye in both, like these cards go together. Not that one. Here's the eye, and here's the same eye on the other card. So it's really funny that both of these match up from the deck for the same person. Okay, so the feelings are judgment, and the intentions is the Hermit. Like, they might be judging you harshly, but the intention is to hide and keep that judgment to themselves and watch you from a safe distance. Alright, so I hope that helps you out. I thought that was pretty cool that they both had the Egyptian theme. And that's pretty cool. And Francis John says, cat deck for the go. Star Eyes. Francis John says, thank you. That sounds perfect. It makes perfect sense. I feel like this person doesn't like me. Never invites me at all. You know what? I could definitely see that with that reading. And Francis John says, love it. Yeah, the cards are pretty darn accurate. Another question, please. That is Rafiquaz. Rafiquaz? I think it's pronounced Rafika. Feeling and intention towards Francis. Feelings and intention. So we got those. Let's see if it's the cat deck again. Alright, let's find out. Alright, so it is 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's actually the Robin Wood Turret again tonight. We've had this deck a lot tonight. Okay, Robin Wood Turret. Okay, and just as a reminder, I only stream for 2 hours, and I have about 6, going down to 5 minutes left soon. So probably maybe one more question if this doesn't take too much time. But then I'm going to say goodnight. So slowly closing down for the night. But we're going to get through this first. So another question. What is Rafiqua's feelings and intentions towards Francis? What is Rafika's feelings and intentions towards Francis. What is Rafika's feelings and intentions towards Francis? Okay, feelings is the Hierophant, and intentions is the Knight of Cups. Okay, so the feelings are of the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is a major arcana, one of the big characters, the big wigs. They could be like a priest or a teacher. They are a holder of traditions, and they teach people their ways. That is why they have these two disciples here. So the feelings of Rafika's feelings that they feel like a holder of tradition, a teacher, and holder of traditions. So they are there to be a little stiff because they hold the rules and they're going to show you how it's done. And the intentions is the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups is not a novice. They have learned enough about their cups to where they are balanced and going with the flow with their emotions. He's very calm about his cups. And he's even riding a half horse, half mermaid. So that takes some skill. And again, cups are emotions and water. Relationships. And knights are of the court, and they are about movement. They move forward with, and in this case, they move forward with their cups. So I believe these are intentions to make a relationship that is calm, like a nice working. I don't want to say working friendship, just a friendship, a relationship, but a relationship with the nature of they are the Hierophant and they hold the rules. So it's like they are going to be the one giving you the rules, but they still want the working relationship of disciple and teacher. Okay, and that is what the cards are telling me. And I am at 1 hour and 59 minutes. I'm not going to make it through another question. Oh, so I hope that helps out. Yeah, that's my last one for tonight. I'm burnt. I'm done. I'm done for the night. Alright. Thanks so much. I can trust this person then. Yes, I got some pretty good vibes from this person. Nothing malicious or judgmental. Alright, so I hope that helps you out. If you have any more questions, bring them tomorrow. I'll be back in 22 hours. Again, 8:30. Eastern Standard Time is when I go live. So I want to thank you for Francis for sticking around. You've been a delight. And everybody else for posting their questions and letting me answer them. And Francis says, hope you have a restful sleep. I definitely will. And Francis says, God bless you, Violet. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. And I absolutely appreciate your time, energy, and care for the readings. You're so welcome. And thank you so much. And thank you so much. You are welcome. All right. I love you. Good night. Bye.